Logical Thinking Barbie here. I actually wanted to do a video on 9/11, but like on the day of 9/11, I couldn't do it then. I was thinking about it and just wanting to collect my thoughts on the years since 9/11 and how I was feeling about where this country is going. I think I've told you guys, that I'm adopted from Brazil and, was raised hearing about how this is the greatest country on earth and hearing about, the creators of the Constitution, that were about getting rid of powers that would, demolish this country. And throughout the years, it's like I see that that's happening, and I also see a population that is constantly saying, oh, there's nothing we can do. It's just like, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. And it's just like we're downtrodden, And I see us being like that boiled frog, Someone was saying in a phone call on a YouTube video where, the boiled frog it gets to the point where it's still alive, it knows that something bad is happening, and it's just about ready to jump out, but it's just at that place where it's kind of cooked enough that it literally cannot jump out. And I'm terrified that as Americans, are we there? Are we that downtrodden that we can't say no to this system that is taking us down? So, on 9/11, we saw these two buildings basically fall within their own footprint, just like a controlled demolition. And we just buy the story that Al-Qaeda, created this whole thing, and by the way, and then they ran over to Building 7 that wasn't even hit by a plane, and it fell down in its own footprint too. And, the other thing that was happening too on 9/11 is that the building was like disintegrated. It wasn't like big desks for falling on people and stuff. It just was like dust. Literally dust there was like nothing on the ground. It was really weird material. Tons and tons of dust. I watched the videos again. There was like a lot of paper for some reason, not like desks, computers, paper. When the first plane hit the building, it's like a ton of paper for some weird reason. So there's all these inconsistencies that as the American people, we just file that away and just keep going. It's interesting because before I happened upon that video, I was watching about a comptroller from Dixon, Illinois, who totally pulled the wool over the people around her, and embezzled $53 million over like 20 years, just completely fooled everyone, and I'm thinking, this is totally happening to us. It's happening to the whole nation. We're being fooled right now. The other thing is, for example, what's going on when we have these government shutdowns? I think it's a terrible test, because if we have these government shutdowns and people are going to work for free, that's horrible. What are we doing? Governments all around the world have shady people in them. Is it possible that we don't know that there's certain governments working together and there's certain people? Maybe it's like 5 people. And maybe like we need to help the people that are in the government that know what's going on, but they don't have the proof. I'm not saying that all governments are rotten to the core. They're not. However, we have to help these people get rid of the bad apples, and we are just being poisoned right now. We're not being the America that is about freedom and justice for all right now. And I think that if we keep closing our eyes to humongous things like this, that's going to be it for us. And that's horrible, that's this great country. And what happened? We did exactly what our forefathers told us not to do, and that is to sit by and let, 4 or 5 bad apples completely take us to our demise.